Hello everyone, my name is Michael Lombardo with GlideFast Consulting. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about having a successful ServiceNow implementation. A lot of times customers will come to me and ask, how do we have a successful ServiceNow implementation? And having been through several ServiceNow implementations previously as a customer, so outside the consulting world, the company I was at as an employee, I was the help desk team lead. We purchased ServiceNow as a product, and we went ahead and implemented it as an organization. And we did have some challenges. There were definitely a lot of learning curves, and definitely a lot of things that I wish we did different, or we had the right partner to instruct us how to do things a little different and follow best practice, things like that. So ever since that experience as a ServiceNow customer, once I got into the consulting world, I made it my mission to really take that experience and really help try to learn from those mistakes, and also learn from there was a lot of good parts of the implementation as well, things we did very well, things we did right. And I try to really take that information and experience and pass that on to my future clients. And that's really how GlideFast was born. We really had the vision of leveraging personal experiences on the customer side, implementing ServiceNow as a customer, and leveraging that experience and passing it on to our customers. And that's why we've had just such a tremendous amount of success. Recently, we were promoted to Gold Services Partner with ServiceNow, so we're really excited about that. But let's get right into it. So some of the things I do want to talk to you about is just some things I can make you aware of that if you go into this implementation with the right mentality and some of these things to keep in mind, it could help you be more successful. Obviously, hiring GlideFast will be your best chance at being successful, but that's a little self-serving. So I'll keep GlideFast out of it for now. For one, I'd say you definitely want to make sure that all of your scope, your requirements are extremely well defined. That means stay outside of the technical aspects for a second, more on the roadmap side, right? Of, okay, maybe we have this roadmap. We want to do several things. We want to do HR. We want to get facilities in here, right? But again, you're starting at such an early stage of the implementation where you have to get your core configuration set up, all your users imported, your departments, your locations. You need to get incident management set up. You need to get change management set up. You need to get problem management, all that core, defining your CMDB, service catalog, service portal. So there's so much that has to get done to the core platform that putting things like HR, into an ITSM implementation in the first phase is very risky, right? So I'd really make sure you define your roadmap, right? What's our plan? And definitely don't overlook the core components of ServiceNow. Your CMDB is extremely important. Getting that really well defined. Where are we getting our data from? Making sure the relationships are built out. Obviously, building your service catalog. What are the services we offer? Building those workflows out are extremely important. Products like SAP, Oracle, we're used to implementing a product and it's staying that way for the next 20 years, right? ServiceNow is extremely flexible, extremely agile. We really take to heart the continual service improvement aspect of ITIL, and you really want to continue to improve your ServiceNow experience, right? So incident management, let's just stand up incident management. Let's have maybe some automation, but let's keep it limited so we're able to adapt to the new change, right? If you're coming from, like most customers are, they're coming from everything's a ticket, no automation, and you're implementing this whole new process, you're implementing this whole new platform that, yes, it can do so much amazing things and automation and making your lives easier, but let's just slowly ease into that, right? Let's just start by getting our core configuration items in there. Well, what are the business services we offer? What's the support model? Let's get knowledge management implemented. Let's get just get some knowledge into the system so that help desk, when they start typing on a short description, they actually have relevant results that are returned. And then once we get our feet on the ground with incident management, then let's add some really cool automation. All right, what's our on-call schedules? How can we auto-assign? How can we start maybe auto-resolving? How do we start looking into incident deflection? So I can go on and on about that, but and get into very specific things. But I'd say overall, just my only advice is just phase it out. Build a roadmap. Try to keep your phase one as tight as possible. Make sure you have executive sponsorship, right? Let's make sure our CIO is sending the message to IT in the organization that this is the product we're investing in. This is what we believe in. We're changing our ways, right? A lot of times, people in IT organizations, they don't want to change, right? They like the way they've been doing things for the last 10, 15 years, and they don't want to change their new product, right? There's this thought that ServiceNow is coming in to be the big brother and or eliminate jobs. It's just not true. It's here to make our employees' lives easier by giving them the ability to request and find things that they need faster and easier. And it's making the ITs in service management employees' lives easier because it's allowing us to focus on more important parts of our job rather than the trivial swivel chair, processes that lacked automation for so many years. So if we don't have the executive sponsorship communicating to employees in the service management space, this is what we're doing. This is our focus. We're doing it. It only fuels some of those people who don't want to change. If their bosses aren't telling them that this is exactly what we're doing, we have to do this, then we're sending mixed messages, and people are gonna not comply and not help improve this process. Speaking of process, process is really important, right? That no technology is gonna fix your broken process. So it's really important to make sure your staff is ITIL certified, has been through some ITIL trainings. You really want to make sure your process is defined, and if they're not defined, let's define those first. Let's figure out what we're doing today, and most likely those processes they're working in some way, shape, or form, right? They're getting, maybe it's not the most efficient process, but an end user is calling in or telling us there's a problem. In some way, shape, or form, we're fixing it. It may take too long. It may be cumbersome for the user, but some way, shape, or form, things are getting done. So let's look at what we have today. Let's see how we can maybe make it a little bit more efficient, but let's get those defined and let's make it repeatable, right? Because sometimes, you have 10 different help service desk agents and they're doing things 10 different ways. So let's define that and make this is the way we're doing it across the board. I don't care if you were doing it one way, this is the most efficient way. We're going to do it this way, and this is how we're going to implement ServiceNow. So to think that technology will come in and fix some of those everybody does it 10 different ways thing, it's not going to work, right? So you really have to, that's why executive sponsorship, again, is really important, because they put their foot down and say, no, this is the way we're doing it. I understand one team is used to doing it one way and this team is used to doing it another way, but this is the way we're going to do it now. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it's going to be. That you really need that executive sponsorship and the executive leadership to really push that and drive that message home. So define your process first, and then leverage technology to automate and enhance that process to make it more efficient. Identify strong, dedicated admins, right? Obviously, hopefully you're going to use a ServiceNow partner who has experience in the space and can give you the guidance you need. But you do want to identify internal admins, and maybe they're not as technical. Maybe they don't have to necessarily be JavaScript code monkeys. We don't have to be extremely technical. I think they have to be technical. They have to understand your organization. They have to understand IT, ITIL best practices, things like that. But to me, I'd rather, when I'm going to a customer, I'd rather have an admin who's dedicated, excited, wants to get, to move past the entry level job of service desk and move up to be a developer. And ServiceNow is a phenomenal opportunity. That's how I started. I was again on the service desk, 8, 9 years ago, and I got the opportunity to work with ServiceNow, and I jumped on it, and I never stopped. I mean, but it's not easy, right? It's not like I just took a class and I learned ServiceNow and overnight I was great. I mean, it literally took 9 hour, 10-hour days at work, and trying to figure out ServiceNow and working with the partner we had, and then going home, eating supper, and getting right back on the laptop and watching YouTube videos, getting on the community, leveraging any networking I can do to try to help other people and have them help me. It's luckily I had a really great network of like-minded developers and admins who wanted to learn and continue to grow in this space. I mean, ServiceNow is some of the most passionate people. ServiceNow developers and admins, some of those passionate people I've ever met in my life. I mean, it's really cool. So I think it's more about less on the technical expertise, because that can come with time. More about the willingness to dedicate themselves and be successful, I think is the most important thing. Passion, passion's the most important thing. Very important. Don't think like IT people, right? We tend to think like IT people because we are IT people, right? We want things to be precise and accurate. And give me an example. Service catalog. Every conversation I have with a customer on service catalog, for the most part, is there's always a thing that comes up around categorization, right? Where we need 25 levels of categories, and this item that we're selling or offering to our end users needs to be exactly categorized the right way. Look, we're thinking like IT people. Think like consumers. When you go to Amazon and you want to buy a toaster, what do you do, right? I'll give you a second to answer that. What do you do if you want to buy a toaster on Amazon? You don't go up to the categories and drill down to appliance, kitchen appliance, toaster accessories. You go to the search bar and you type in toaster. So why should service management be any different? It's not. No one is going through, hey, well, you know what? Let me browse through IT's services that they offer. Let me browse through by category. Unless they have some serious time on their hands, trust me, they're not. So focus more on the experience of a consumer rather than what IT thinks it should be, right? Put yourself in your consumer's shoes and, okay, what services do we offer? How would they be searching for that? Focus on metadata, right? Focus on ensuring that if we have an application that has 7 different names, let's make sure that they can access those catalog items by those 7 different names. I mean, it's more important to focus on the experience and not like how IT people interpret it. That's sometimes that goes across the board, right? I think it's not just service catalog; it's through many aspects of the ServiceNow journey. So think of your customer. Think of the business value. What is really the business value of some of the decisions we're making? Is there really a business impact if we use configuration item with a 1 or 2 level tiered categorization on incident? I'd say the last thing is have some fun. I mean, this is fun. I know it can be stressful for project managers and obviously admins and the business people as well, but have some fun with it. I mean, this is where we're in a space where we can develop applications fast. Thanks everybody for watching. My name is Michael Lombardo. You can find me at GlideFast on Twitter, info@GlideFast on email. Go to our website, glidefast.com. We are a sponsor at Knowledge 18. We're also having a party on Tuesday night, May 9th. So I'll put a link in the description to RSVP for that party. We'd love to see you. We'd love to network. We're extremely passionate about this space. And thanks for watching.